We had a very successful CFO conference in March in Karachi, and immediately after the conference in the evening, the President fought us and said, I want a similar one in Islamabad or Lahore. So I think Naeem took up the challenge with Mr. Abdullah Yusuf and quickly put together this conference for you. And I'm glad that the turnout has been very good. Even after lunch, I can see people right up to the end, except for some missing seats in the middle. Okay, coming back to my subject, we as accountants, we have been spending our formative years in working in the finance department, primarily being inside the organization, looking more inwards into the organization. And we've had this discussion in the morning where the expectations were being discussed by the chief executives and also by the finance minister, and they were all speaking the same language as to what is really the expectation of a CFO. The idea had always been to record transactions, put up our financial statements on time, put the tax returns in place, make sure everything is being done on time, and we were more like, munshis operating like Rahim Surya said in the morning, usually being not very helpful to the rest of the organization. And people usually did not voluntarily come and sought advice from the CFOs. Because they were like, always trying to push people that, okay, the variance from the budget has been 2%, please explain. And like your travel statement says that you used the mini bar maybe. And why did you use that? So people get agitated, that these accountants were always showstoppers and they don't see the big picture. But I'm happy to report that, ladies and gentlemen, these things are changing and we are in a different world altogether. The chief executive, as you heard in the morning, the first person they want to talk to now is the chief financial officer. Because of the wealth of knowledge and the information that a chief financial officer has. Now, these chief financial officers are now expected to meet a lot of challenges within the same cost. You are then forced not to totally expand your finance department, bring in more efficiency and answer more difficult questions to the chief executive. Now it all depends on the CFO, whether he wants to face these challenges or he wants to just continue as he is in the normal or like it was used to be in the past. So the question now is, how can he be an effective member and play a dynamic role in sustaining, not only sustaining but enhancing a corporate's financial performance? Now I don't have too many slides because I thought that will put you to sleep in a post-lunch session. I just have 6 or 7 slides and I'll stick to that and try to finish my presentation on time. Now the way to do these things, and my presentation is totally geared towards the CFOs. The way to go about is that you have to look towards the future. When we get our training in an audit company, we start looking at the past, what all has been done as of June 30. Then from the 1st of July, the audit starts, and everything is focused towards the back. We look at the hindsight, which is usually 6 by 6, and we were very good and we were trained to find out a lot of things, from the past information. When we come into the industry where 80% of the chartered accountants are working, then you start looking at the present. You record transactions which are happening on a daily basis. But now the thing is shifting, and we are now in a time zone where we have to start looking towards the future. You have to take a leadership role in developing the strategic plan of your organization. In the budgeting exercises, you play a very major role, and you are an integral part in any new project, like Shirazi was saying in the morning, that you have to be there as a key member of anything in the company which is futuristic and which is happening. The CFO has to be there. Even if you are not there, you must try your best to get into that place. Now the question is why? Why do you have to look into the future? See, the thing is, when you look at the managing director and you ask him, he'll tell you that he's given targets and challenges by the board. And the board will never give him a challenge for something in the past. The managing director has to do something in the future, which the board wants. And if the managing director is given a target, and if you are not aligned with the managing director, then you are not a useful resource for him. It could be going into a new market, developing a new product, setting up a new joint venture or a company. So there you have to be in. Because you see, everything boils down to shareholder value creation. And if you look at the stock market today is what, 3rd of June. The share price today is the present value of the future earnings. It has nothing to do with the 2nd of June. Whatever happened on the 2nd of June is history. Now your share value today will reflect what your future earning is. It's the present value of your future earnings. So that is what is relevant in any business organization as to what is the future, what is the story that you have to tell to the shareholders. And a CFO has to be very deeply integrated into the futuristic story of the organization. So that is the first item. So the role basically is changing from the guardian of the books and transaction to a more strategic level. Now you have more people in the finance department whom you can delegate this activity. I'm not saying this is you stop recording transactions and you put the company in trouble. You have to do that. But as a CFO, 80% of your activity should be of a strategic level, 20% on this side. Now, talking of the information, the management information system of which you are your department and you are the guardians, that is a very crucial thing in an organization because the responsibility of making sure that the right information goes to the right place, to the right people, is basically of the CFO because you design these systems within the organization and you steward them. You have technology available throughout the industry now. You have IBM, you have all sorts of organizations, you have SAP. You have to use all these technologies which is best suited to your organization so that you build a robust system which helps in making decisions. There's a lot of information which goes around, but it's our job now to analyze that information and be a lot more analytical rather than just putting up information to the board. Now, personally, I learned this because I worked for Engro for 17 years and I was also for 4 years in the plant site in Dhati. And there you have to be very deeply involved into the cultural and the social activities over there. So I ended up being the treasurer of the management club. And once there I said, okay, let me do a good job. So I prepared a beautiful balance sheet and a P&L with my board club experience of auditing board club. So I thought, okay, let's go in. And before I went into the meeting, the accountant gave me a list. He said that, okay, these are the events we've had during the year. And the cost of each event. I said, who needs this? It's such a beautiful balance sheet over here in P&L. So I said, okay, let's put it in the folder. When the meeting started and the turn came to review the financials, I said, well, gentlemen, this is the balance sheet. Now, in a plant side, you have most of the people as engineers. The entire club committee was engineers. I was the only finance person over there. So they just looked at the balance sheet and they turned the page. No questions. Secondly was the P&L. In 5 seconds, they turned the page. And the third sheet was that one which the accountant had given me. He said, sir, ये रख लीजिए. And then they started, oh, ये 20,000 रुपए तुमने फुटबॉल मैच में खर्च कर दिया. अरे तुमने 15,000 रुपए ये डांस में खर्च कर दिया. And the entire room became animated. Now it taught me a lesson that, look, I may be an accountant and the balance sheet may be an article of faith for me. But to these engineers who are running a club, they want